Good day to everybody out there to see thy wealth, water your health, drink a glass of water. And back here with another topic today. First of all, I'd like to ask everybody, how are you today? How's everybody doing on this weekend? I think it's Saturday. Yeah, it's Saturday today. Just want to come on here and speak about AI and this topic that I saw online today. And I wanted to kind of give my opinion about it, and also if you guys could leave a comment about this topic, which is smart trucks and AI are taking over trucker middle class jobs in China. So smart trucks and AI are taking over trucker middle class jobs in China. And Anton Daniels was speaking about this. And it's a sign of, well, first I want to ask, what do you think that means for the US? And then how many other jobs do you think it'll take, or how many other jobs are going to implement AI on a mass scale, and what that's going to do to the workforce? Not only what that does to the workforce, what is that going to do to the family, the household, grocery shopping, being able to pay bills? What is all of this AI that we're falling in love with, that we are allowing to control our life pretty much, because we are supposed to be in control of it. We are supposed to be the content creator as opposed to the consumer, or we're just supposed to not even indulge in any of it at all. Whatever you choose to do. But since most of the population has indulged in it, this is what we get. AI is efficient. It's taken over jobs. You know, it's not only trucking jobs. Look at some of the stores that you go into, and Walmart, other brands, you know, where you can check yourself out nowadays. I mean, nurses and doctors, your jobs aren't safe because individuals they're creating these robots to where they're performing surgeries. You know, people in hospice, they're having robots. They're creating robots. They have restaurants that are fully robot operated, or, you know, technology, AI, without any workers behind the damn, it's just all being done by robots. So what are you doing? What are you doing to prepare yourself so you could continue to feed your family, because it's inevitable? I mean, look at the self-driving cars in Los Angeles. I mean, it was a couple years ago when I first saw this. I'm like, man, I would never get in a car like that. And then just a couple months ago when I was back in LA, I'm like, maybe I should just do it just to get a video of it because it's content. But I never did it, you know. But look at look how many jobs that's taken away. Look at the robots on the sidewalk delivering people's food. Like, this is crazy. I mean, either you are going to be a part of the wave where you're investing in the technology and making the money, which most of us aren't, or you're going to be on the receiving end of the one, and you'll be a slave to the ones that know how to operate in the AI world, and be on in who have invested in it. To be honest with you, I haven't invested in any of it. I have not invested in any AI, no stocks, no technology, none of that. I've invested in the land. I've invested in the land. I've invested in food, my own water, my own energy. That's what I invested in, because I know that eventually things have become oversaturated. The markets, everything is just oversaturated. And quick grab me headlines. And everybody's distracted. And I don't really understand what's going on in the world, in the planet. And that's the thing. I don't even really care to understand. But what I do understand is this whole perimeter, with everything that's within this perimeter. I'm learning to understand that because I want to be able to feed myself. I want to be able to sustain myself. I don't want to be a slave to that system, which I have been for years, and I'm still a part of it. I'm still a slave to it. But with the way they've gone with the technology, look, I'm not saying it's not beneficial, but at the end of the day, it's really not needed. I don't need to be on camera giving the world what I'm doing right now. I don't have to be able to transmute that to the public. I don't. But this is what it is, and this is what we do. I mean, and I've gotten away from it as much as possible. I am growing my own food. I have my own sources of water and energy from the sun, which rises every day. If that shit don't rise, I don't eat. And since it rises every day, it controls everything on this land. The sun and the moon, the stars. All of that controls this land, not man. Man has done a lot of things to interfere with nature. But nature hasn't lost yet. It always goes into a way of self-protecting. And if it goes into, I mean, and this is what I'm doing, I'm protecting self. I have to be able to feed self. And the ones that's immediately around me that need it. But those jobs are going to be taken from over here as well. It's starting in China. It'll make its way here. It's starting in China. It's already here to a certain degree. Not truckers, but the trucks are going to come. And the truckers are already complaining. They already taking the L. The truckers, because I had someone who bought a property from me. He's in the trucking business, making good money. And he was telling me how the business was going bad. And I ended up having to take the property back from him. He couldn't make his payments. But he was telling me how, certain contracts and the gas and everything, it was just, things were becoming a lot more strict and it was a lot less wiggle room for them. They wasn't making no money. And then whatever other vices he had, why he wasn't paying his bill to me. But, I get it. I know that these jobs are going to be taken. The gas and the fuel is going up. This is why it's very important for us to do for self. Because yes, we can point out the fact that they have trucking jobs being taken away, medical jobs being taken away, everyday Uber jobs being taken away, delivery drop, like all of this is being taken away. That we telling you this, but we're not telling you how to combat it, how to get around it. You're going to have to start deprogramming and start to be a minimalist and do with less. COVID was a test for you to do with less. Grow your own food. It's important. You have to grow your own food. That's a must. Or be around communities that are growing it, farmers. But the way things are going, we're so distracted that we don't even focus on that, knowing that we need to eat every day. How could we not? Because it's so many other distractions. Food has always been something that we never thought about having the source. It's just been able to go to the store and buy it. Never knowing if it ever was shut down, what would we do? That would be the source of everybody's complaint and why everybody run to the streets and start going crazy because they can't feed themselves. No more jobs. There has to be some type of balance, and there's not any balance. I've taken a step back. I've gotten back to where I know I can feed myself, I can get fresh air, and I'm not exempt from anything. I mean, if the planet is going crazy, there's no exemption down here, but at least, I got some barriers to at least feed myself and have some drinking water and energy from the sun. At least I know that's there. What are you doing? Get you some land. See, we tell you about the problems. We tell you that AI is taking over the jobs, but we're not telling you how to go out to the land, get the land. We're not telling you how to go to the county and look up your tax deed auctions and look up your sheriff sales. We're not teaching you how to go and ask the people at the county for over-the-counter tax deeds, which are deeds to property that didn't sell at the auction, where you can just come back and pay someone's back taxes, the penalties, fees, and surcharges, and take possession of a piece of land, whether it has a house on it, whether it's raw land, whatever it is, but commercial. But the key to things like that, where it's just not an easy, quick swipe to property, is you have to do your research. You have to see if there's any liens on it, if there's any child support liens, if there are any, financial liens or whatever other liens that could be on the property. You have to make sure that that's not there and the title just has the lien of the taxes. Because you don't want to go get a property for $3,500 and come to find out it has a $60,000 lien through code enforcement, which code enforcement may not be a bad lien to have, because lots of times you can call them and say, hey, we just took over the property. We will be making the payments from now on. We can't afford the $60,000. Will y'all settle for $600 or $60? And 9 times out of 10, they'll settle with you. But those are the things that you have to do when you're going to look at these properties at the auction or over the counter. You have to make sure that there's not any liens. It may look like, oh, it's a $4,500 property or a $7,500 property, and you may say, damn, it's worth $80,000. But those liens are what's hitting. And that's where people get jammed up. So if you want to get some property, go to your county. Go to the auction. Go to the county and ask for over-the-counter tax deeds. Check your local newspaper. A lot of them have online auction nowadays. You ain't even got to be in the same state or county. And each county has its own law. So make sure if you know the law in Hillsborough County, Florida, it's just not enough to know. You have to also know the law in Dade. Right? Or Crystal, you have to know wherever you are, you have to learn the law in that county, because that's key. Every place is different, but that's the most cheapest way that you can get property, unless you know someone and there's an incredible deal. But if you don't know anyone and there's an incredible deal, go to the county, go to the auction. If you wonder why I got the gloves on, it's because the mosquitoes. Go to the county, go to the auction, get you some land. If it's raw with nothing, with just trees on it, who cares? Who cares? Plant you some fruit trees, plant you a garden, like $3,500 for some land, $4,500 for some land. You mean to tell me nobody can come up with $4,500 for some land? What? Man, we doing the wrong things with our money then. We're doing the wrong things with our money. We can't go out and get any land. We can't go to the auction. Our priorities are twisted. We're spending $800 for a car payment every month, just so we can drive Uber. We're spending all this money for a car $1,000 for a car every month, just so we can drive Uber. Yeah, that's it. Like, for what? 5 months of that? And you can go to the Crystal River, Florida, go to that county and check out those. Man, listen, man, you can get you a piece of land. That's something nobody could take back from you. That's something nobody could take back from you. You got to be able to fight when these people come, because they're going to take what you own, which is your jobs. And if they take your jobs, then they're taking your payments that you can make to your mortgage. If you can't make your mortgage payment, then the banks are going back and take your property. There isn't going to be any forgiveness. There isn't going to be any remedies in debt forgiveness. It's just going to be, we're taking now. Yeah, like, come on now. So it's going to be it's not going to be in the form of them just coming to take your property. No, it's just going to be a year. It's going to be a time thing. Well, over time, things are just going to be taken away in my eyes. But you can't take nothing from over here. If you can't take the sun away, you can't take nothing away from over here. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm just in a space now to where I like to protect. Like, it's all about self-preservation, and then protecting those around you that want to be around you, that you can stand and have around you. Because, I mean, me personally, I'm just, I'm trying to figure my life out, but at the same time, I don't want to get lost into not staying focused. I have to stay focused. I have to be able to defend myself. I have to have kits. I have to have survival plans. I have to have things like that. Like tactical combats, and like it really has to get serious out here. Like you really have to know what you're doing, especially when you're living in those cities. You definitely got to know what you're doing because you got too many people around you. Out here in the jungle and in the back country, like it's not a lot. People work together, and then you have your people that you always got your select few that's going to be knuckleheads. But for the most part, like you don't have that extra that everybody's used to, and then when it's taken away, everybody's going through dope fiend moves and addiction and withdrawal. Because when all of the stimulation is removed from population, people are going to go through withdrawal. It's just going to be like a drug. And you're going to be trying to look for the next fix. How am I going to? Serious. So the mind is a powerful thing that we need to work on. That I'm definitely going to be working on. I come on here, I get my videos and everything. Today, I was walking around fruit trees, and I'll be doing a video on that later on. I'll be putting that out, just walking around, seeing the formation of some bananas and plantain, the plums on the tree hanging, possibly having to cut down a mango tree up front, just so the coconut tree could survive, and maybe we could plant some other trees because the mango tree isn't producing. Planting new seedlings, finding new guava, finding new fruit trees every day, just about. Like it's always a new herb. You know what I'm saying? The herbs are for the healing of the nation. All my Bible thumpers out there. I mean, look, we just sitting on abundance out here. I can't complain about my life in that capacity on everything, but it's always about what's going on up here that drives you insane if you don't know how to deal with it. And I'm just not, I might talk about it. Like I'm not like suffering or nothing like that. Like if I come on in here and give a video about the state of my mental health, that's just what it is. Me talking about the state of my mental health. I'm not committing murder. I'm not doing, I'm this is what you get, and it's hard to put yourself in a situation that you regret when you're out here by yourself, and for me to speak my mind is not a crime at all. It's my opinion, the same way everybody else has theirs. You like it, you don't. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for tuning in with me. And we're going to continue to keep bringing heat. Looks like it's going to rain today. Got to go pick up the rest of my laundry. They only had half of it done yesterday. And I think I'm going to get me a nice meal for Saturday. And then I'm going to start to get into a fast. I'm going to get back into my workout regimen. I want to start bringing that content back to y'all. Or I want to start getting back into that for my life anyway, just as far as my workout regimen and my fasting. And then I'll bring that content along to y'all because that's what I'm doing. But I haven't been doing that. That's why you guys haven't been really seeing that. Although I never really was a big promoter of a lot of the health videos that I would usually do on Instagram. Not necessarily health videos because I don't really promote and talk. I say wealth is health. Wealth is health. Meaning to me, wealth to me is having good health. And health is a culmination of things, not just my physical. So while I may have physically been able to master doing, getting my body in shape and having a good looking body and fasting and eating produce and fruits and herbs and sunlight and fresh water, I haven't gotten to master my mind. And that's the key element that I've been missing, which is why I believe the eating hasn't, I think the eating has brought me into wanting to work my mind. That may be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the universe has done with me, but I think that me eating the way I have has worked and brought me into wanting to bring my mind to top tier, or to another tier, or to whatever. I don't even know. But this is where we are right now in our flow and our energy and our state. And I appreciate you guys for being here, watching this at this moment, in this hour, in this minute, because you could be anywhere on the planet, which you are, but you could be watching anything else, but you're watching me. And I appreciate that. And I'm actually happy to a certain degree that I can bring myself to you in whatever form you get, and you to be watching me. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's magical for me to be in Central America. You could be in South Africa. You can be in London, Canada, wherever you are. In fact, if you want to talk about and tell me where you are, that would be great. Please tell me where you guys are on the planet. That would be awesome. And I'm going to start doing live videos too, but I just want to do my live videos home, and I don't have a steady internet connection to do that. You know, so I've been working on trying to get my Starlink. I now have to get someone that has a bank account to wire that money to the Public Utilities Department so they can start my license approval process or disapproval process, whatever they do. And then I can get on my Starlink and start to do my live videos, because I would like to bring that to the audience where I could just walk through, not necessarily the jungle, because you have to be aware, especially now. And they was just telling me today that they saw a snake. They had to kill a boa yesterday, a boa constrictor, you know, and there's also a snake that's dead out in front of my property. So it's just like on the road. So I don't want to be going through doing live videos like that. That's why I get someone to film when I'm doing that type stuff. Like, I'm not going to be walking through here recklessly. And I also get my my whatchamacallit glasses, my meta glasses too. I'll use those so I can keep my eye on everything, but y'all can still see my visual for the most part. But I'm gonna start getting into the vlogging and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, we're just gonna start bringing an abundance of content that's showing our life and what we're doing, you know, and I think the key for me, as well as other content creators that's doing this and putting their life out there, is to not get caught up in the comments and people saying negative things. If they're going to say negative things, people are always going to say negative things, but just don't get caught up in it. You just have to live your life and not even listen to, like, if people want to really get in contact with you, they're going to make an effort to contact you. They're not going to just leave a comment. They're going to start emailing you and those type of things. So if people are going, like, me personally, I'm not really getting up into the comments, too much anymore. You know, I don't want to, and the reason why, I'm being honest with you, that's not stopping anybody from putting a comment. And I don't want to think that your comment is going to go unnoticed and you shouldn't put a comment. So I don't really want to say that, but I'm just being transparent with you for me, because I really don't read much of them now, but it's getting to that point where I'm trying to get away from that and just start to drop the content, not look at the views, just drop the content, you know, because that is where your freedom lies. Not worried about how many people are viewing you. Not worrying about what the comment, because if you're not worried about the comment, you're just continuing on to do your thing. Then you start seeing comments, and not to say if you see the comments and you can't deal with them, that it's not about that. You know, it's about you having the discernment and the ability to do what you want to do when you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I could look at the comment when I want to look at it. I could divulge and I could indulge and I could, you know, or I could indulge and I could do whatever I want to do with that, engage or not. You know what I'm saying? My point is, I want to provide value here. That's it. And if you could provide me value somehow, reach out to me directly. If you can't, I'm not really checking too much. I'm going to stop checking so much into my comments. I just don't even really want to get into that, because that's a whole nother vibe. Some of those people are bots. I don't even call them people. It's just a computer that's wanting to throw you off, because, you know, sometimes we'll get a comment even during the live sessions, live videos. That's another thing to kind of navigate. You know, you want to engage with, at least I would like to engage with some of the people that's watching me to a certain degree, for sure, because that's how you grow your community. And that's where that'll be a different place to navigate the live videos, and you just have to deal with that head on as it come, you know. But for the most, because, you know, I want to do some Q&As and start to figure out who's listening and watching. Not sure what happened with my camera. But anyhow, I'm done with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I've been on here for 25 minutes. I don't know if I should keep going. You know, because I don't know who's still watching that 25 minutes. That's a long video. But what I am realizing that YouTube is categorizing videos. If you're doing longer form videos, they may be putting those videos out to other people that they know is watching longer forms. And I'm realizing that people are watching me on TV now. You can see where people are watching you at. They TV, they tablet, iPhone. I feel a drip. Let's get out of the rain. So, I need to cut my hair. Your old man going bald out here. That's what age do to you, and lack of minerals and nutrients in the body from a young age, and you try to change that stuff around. I think my hair has stopped falling out. I think that with the way I've switched over my living lifestyle and the way I've eat and the way I've started to construct my life, I think it has slowed up I don't want to say progression because it's not progression. It has slowed up the hair from, I just slowed up my hair from falling out, you know. So I'm thankful for that, because it could have kept going like this. It's been like this for a while now, and I think that maybe it'll come back. But anyway, either way, I'm still me. I still love me. I'm still perfectly imperfect, you know. And I'm under my house right now. Got a little working table over here. Got my little motorcycle, it is a motorcycle, but kind of like a dirt bike-ish motorcycle. My water cistern, my water pump tank is all right here. Pipes and all of that, and plumbing, you know. My garden back here, got a few things back there. It's really had to do some relearning about the garden, and I took a step back, so now we're going to redo it. Got 500 trays of things that we're going to plant, open up a new space for another garden within the next couple weeks. I'm going to be losing one of my guys here that have been helping me out, but want to get that space opened up here within the next couple weeks so we can start to do our planting of all of the seedlings that we've, you know, constructed and put together over here. You know, so we're working. We're not just talking about problems that's going on in the world. We're showing you that we're actually here on the land. You know, this is a modern day look of off-grid living. You know, people may say you're not off-grid because you got your cell phone or whatnot. That's cool, that's true. But technically, I don't have to tap into the government for their water, and I don't have to tap into the government or any type of third-party entity for any electrical source. So I'm off-grid in that capacity. We're showing you this is another way to do it. You don't have to just do it in tents. You can go get you a log cabin. You can go get you a shed. You can go get you a tent. You can go get you a van and a nice 6,700 square foot piece of land and put your van on it, put you some clothes hangers out there, start to construct and set things up, go get you some walkie-talkies and start to do things and live off grid. You don't have to do it on this level. I'm showing you that it can be done so you're not turned off on it, because a lot of us black people, we get scared of the woods. We don't like snakes. We don't like spiders. We don't like any type of critters. So I'm showing you, in fact, I'm going to do another video on that after I get finished with this one. Right. Tap in with me on another note. This is See Thy Wealth. Water your health. Drink a glass of water.